Hello and welcome to the suspensions for round 24. This is the last one of the regular season, so let's get to it. Charlie Ballard from the Gold Coast Suns has been charged with rough conduct. This was actually his third offence during the match for his bump off the ball on Nick Larkey. The MRO classed this as intentional conduct, low impact, body contact. For this, he's been given a $8,000 sanction, which can be downgraded to $5,000 with an early plea. What are your thoughts on a player who has 3 individual offences during a game receiving a $8,000 sanction? Or do you like the baseball analogy, 3 strikes and you're out for a week? What are your thoughts? Is a fine enough, or should it be a suspension for a week if you have 3 individual offences during one match? James Blank from Hawthorn has been charged with engaging in a melee wrestling offence, which was his second offence. This happened in the third quarter. It's a fixed financial sanction of $2,500 for his second offence, which can be downgraded to $1,500 with an early plea. My question is, why was he the only one who received a fine? As you can see, he's not the only one who is wrestling, and from the very limited footage that we have, I don't think he was the one who started it. So I'm not entirely sure how the MRO have just singled out him and why he's the only one who receives a fine, but I guess that's the way it goes. Watching this at full speed, it does look like Durham slams Cameron's head into the ground, but when we slow it down, it looks like his shoulder does make impact with the ground first. He does look injured. This wasn't called a dangerous tackle on the night, and I think this is the right call for me. It's a very hard tackle, but I think it's legal, it's fine, nothing to see. Dangerous tackle on the day was laid against Taron Thomas here, but the MRO decided that this was nothing. The MRO must have decided that nothing more than a free kick needed to be paid for this, and I personally agree as well. The MRO have graded that this dangerous tackle was nothing more than a free, and I personally agree here as well. Pedler does have the ball above his head and he does go down to the ground pretty hard, but he did have the option to put his hands out and protect himself. I don't think he hit his head, so I think this one is totally fine. Josh Battle has been hit head high by Eric Hipwood, but this was during the play and Eric Hipwood didn't brace for contact. I think this one is just one of those unfortunate hits where 2 players are running in opposite directions and they make contact. I'm glad the MRO didn't look at this one anything further. This is just something that unfortunately does happen in the game. Play on. Lemons from the Suns is pretty lucky in my opinion to not receive a fine for his head high hit on Curtis Taylor. As you can see, he sort of does swing the arm and it does make contact with the chin or head. So in my opinion, I actually think he's pretty lucky to get away with a fine, to get away with no fine rather, and not even a free kick. I think the MRO might have missed this one. Toby Bedford from the GWS Giants has been charged with rough conduct, which was his second offence against Zach Fisher from Carlton. This happened in the third quarter and the MRO graded it as careless conduct, medium impact and high contact. For this hit, he will be missing 1 match. Apologise for the quality of the footage, this is all I could find. Does look like he makes a bump, I'm not sure if it's head high. The quality is that bad, it's hard to say, but the MRO have given him a week. Jacob Wiedering from Carlton has been charged with unreasonable or unnecessary contact to the eye region, which is his first offence for the night, on none other than Toby Green from the GWS Giants. This happened in the second quarter. The MRO graded this as careless conduct, low impact, high contact. For this, he has been given a $3,000 sanction with an early plea, $2,000. I think this call is about right. I don't think we can always slow everything down. I think watching this at full speed, he sort of does try to get his hand around his neck. I'm not sure, maybe around his throat. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't look like he's going for the eye. It's not an eye gouge. He just unfortunate contact with the eye. Therefore, just a fine. I think this is about right for me. Somehow Ollie Lord has escaped any sort of fine or suspension for his head high hit on this Richmond player. I can't actually make out who it is. Let me know in the comments. I thought the head was so-called sacrosanct. Not entirely sure why this doesn't get looked at. For me personally, this should be a fine. Whether it's an open hand, should be a fine. Closed fist, should be a suspension. What do you think? Matt Rowell and Kane Turner from Gold Coast Suns and North Melbourne respectively have been charged with engaging in a melee. This happened in the second quarter. It's a fixed financial sanction of $1,500 with an early plea can be downgraded to $1,000. I can sort of understand why Matt Rowell was picked out here, but not entirely sure why Kane Turner was. Can you let me know in the comments below why you think he was picked out as an offender? This one I found a little bit funny. You can see Grimes does tackle Rosie, and on the replay you can see Rosie's head doesn't look like it hits the ground, but he fakes like it does and gets a free kick in front of goal.
Watch the Grimes follow up here. Really is fantastic.
Jai Simpkin has been charged with rough conduct against Noah Anderson in the second quarter. The MRO graded this as intentional conduct, low impact, body contact. For this, he's been given a $3,000 sanction, which can be downgraded to $2,000 with an early plea. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I'll hopefully be doing some videos next week as well on the finals matchup. I'll hopefully get the oddities video out before that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to leave the word snags in the comment. See you next time.